Have you ever seen a unicorn? Something so special, so rare and interesting. Well, I have, on screen, of course. But unlike unicorns, there are cars that are just as much unique, rare, and interesting. And also real, just like the Mercedes Benz LOTEC C1000. One of one made. This one, the one. There is nothing more special than having a thing that no one else has. Special Ferraris, hundreds of units made. Koenigseggs, tens of units made. But low-tech, it's just like having your own Mona Lisa in some sense. The painting, that is. One of one made for the entire world. The original. And can you believe it? For decades, this car was like a hidden sculpture that only came to light as soon as it was uploaded on the internet. Sure, that's true for any other obscure supercar, but this ridiculous beauty should, and I think still deserves, some recognition because it was just so different for its time. And I got to see this ridiculous beauty through Instagram Explore page, no less. I think it was from one of the crew of Petrolicious YouTube channel, and I just thought it was another one of those rendered concept cars that would never see the day of light because I used to believe Instagram was only there for wasting your time. Essentially useless. But then I saw this German badge of the oldest car maker in the world, Mercedes, on it. And then I finally realized Instagram is not so useless, is it? Because instantly I was interested. How could this car go under the radar even though it looked so cool and interesting? I mean, it deserved to be at least in one of the classic Need for Speed games, just like there's Dera. And this is how I got to know about the Mercedes-Benz's Unicorn, the one of one supercar of all time. And ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the LOTEC C1000. So first of all, how and why was this car even made? Unlike a glorious story of a race car homologated for street legal use to enter a race, or a man's vision to make the ultimate road car, or just another one of those supercars that is used to make a profit. No. Sheikh Ahmed Al Maktoum, a citizen of the UAE, United Arab Emirates, a quite wealthy gentleman. Well, quite would be putting it lightly. Outrageously rich gentleman would be better. He had a thought. He wanted a car that was so cool, so unique, so bloody outrageous in every way, shape and form that no one else would think it would be possible. And he wanted that car all for himself. Because what is luxury if not exclusivity? And so, through his contacts, he reached to the founder of the LOTEC racing company, named Kurt Lauterschmidt, in Germany for a special request. Habibi, make me a car with 1,000 horsepower with the latest racing technology in it, and of course make it the fastest car in the world. And if you think about it, it's so cool that if you have enough money, you can just make a new custom car all for yourself, and you can make it as you visioned it to be. Don't you just love it? Other hypercars are envisioned by the creators, but when the customers get exactly the thing they want, you bet it's going to be unique. So, LOTEC, a German sports car manufacturer that builds race cars, road cars, and modified road cars since the 1960s, specialized in racing competition with the help of the other car manufacturers like Porsche and Ferrari. In the 90s, they were on par with others in the golden era of sports endurance racing championship, the Group C. So, Kurt Lauterschmidt, with all his racing knowledge and with the help of Mercedes, most likely the AMG department, started developing the C1000 in 1991. It took 4 years to bring it into existence. All the engineering and building costs included, it was finally finished in 1995, and they came up with some concept car images that came along the way which looked phenomenal. The same design language can be seen in their latest creation as well, the LOTEC series. Introduced in the early 2000s, actually a good looking car. We'll make a video on it too. But before that, this video is sponsored by a guy who liked the Mercedes-Benz CLK GTR just because its rims look cool. This special art of the LOTEC C1000 is live on my online art store with 1 of 1 written on it, which not only symbolizes the real car's production number, but this car art's production number too, which is this one, a unique piece, which means once it's gone, it's gone. Also, I've uploaded a course which teaches you how to envision, visualize and design your own car, just like I did here. Designed an entire new car just because I could teach you and also because I enjoyed it. From sketching to AutoCAD to Fusion 360. Also, I had my face revealed there because I wanted to practice speaking to camera. But apart from that, check that out as well. And thank you. The C in C1000 stands for carbon fiber because this car was made out of carbon fiber monocoque chassis with an integrated roll cage, which was new and rare in road cars of the 1990s. It had proper race car credentials with its obsession with stiffness, lightness and power, which was 1000 brake horsepower, which was represented by 1000 in the C1000. The monstrous amount of horsepower was delivered by Mercedes' M117 V8 engine, which was twin turbocharged. It was tough and robust with a single overhead cam design, hence it could make that much power without breaking apart. Then it led to the foundation of the M119 engine powering the Sauber Mercedes C9 for Group C Endurance Racing Championship. It delivered incredible torque as well, 980 Newton meters, which gave it an incredible power to weight ratio of 900 brake horsepower per ton, weighing 1080 kilograms only. It was lighter than the de facto supercar at the time, McLaren F1, which was 1140 kilograms. It was the most powerful production car in the world and the first production road car with 1000 horsepower output, even before the Veyron came in. But well, calling the C1000 a production road car with 1000 horsepower engine is like calling Bonnie Blue a committed Christian nun. Compared to other production supercars' horsepower, it was insane. But in my opinion, I would have preferred the Mercedes V12, which powered the Steracum and the Torre 112i, the first Pagani Zonda and the sister car, the CLK GTR, which would have shared some or the other parts in engineering because this was a big project. And one side note, I just love how Mercedes AMG backs up these small and obscure car manufacturers for their one-off supercars, just like the 3 examples I gave above, makes them seem friendly or a bit more business oriented, because then I can say that many of these cars were powered by a Mercedes engine. But anyway, apart from these specifications, the main point of a car, a supercar, which is to look something from another world. It makes you go, wow, I want that car. And the LOTEC does. It does look great. I would say it looks very striking. I would say it has that outrageous beauty to it. Looks like a spaceship. Awesome, just like the Countach did in the 1980s. Those lines on the side which eventually reaches and forms the spoiler of the car, those massive rear diffusers, those enormous side intakes for the twin turbo intercoolers, that uni tail light and the way everything opens. The entire body shells of the car, it's just incredible. But it was not only for show either. It had aerodynamics that keep the car stable at high speeds. So it was not all form over function. I love it. I do like the rims too because it looks like the BBS Super RS Classic rims with golden spokes. Yeah, that looks cool. And also just how wide the thing is. If you can see it in camera, it looks very wide and low too. It's almost as wide as the Diablo. Like, it's a little more wider than 2 meters. In the 90s, that was big. featured by these beautiful opening doors too, adding even more to its supercar credentials. And it's miles before you open the door and reach to the seats. You don't get in the car, you hop in. But when you do, you are greeted with this red interior which honestly looks very basic, bland even, in perspective of luxury. But as this was partly a race car too, I mean it was engineered by race car designers, I think it looks good enough as a race car interior. And one unique thing, even though this car is right hand drive, the manual gear stick is on the right side of the driver's seat, unlike the center of those two seats. So it feels like a left hand drive car, just like the race car, because it's a 5-speed racing transmission powering the rear wheels. Performance 0 to 60 miles per hour or 0 to almost 100 kilometers per hour is a mere 3.2 seconds, as same as the F1. Though I was hoping it was a bit faster to 60 than the F1. I hope it accelerated a bit quicker because F1 had less power and more weight compared to the C1000. But anyway, 0 to 124 miles per hour or 200 kilometers per hour was in 8 seconds, which for the 90s are great performance figures. And since it was light and stiff because of the carbon fiber monocoque chassis with integrated roll cage, I bet it corners very well. And also because the people who designed it are race car designers and they design race cars for a living, definitely they made sure that this car will handle very well. But now we come to the party piece, the top speed. The Cheque wanted the fastest car in the world, so naturally it needed to state its top speed, or rather claim it, because there is no official record of its top speed, but Mercedes and LOTEC gave out a theoretical top speed of 268 miles per hour or 431 kilometers per hour, which would not only have beaten the record of the fastest car at the time, beating all these three supercars, the McLaren F1, XJ220s and the EB110s, but also have beaten them for decades, even when the Veyron came into the picture. And yes, it took so much money to make the Veyron with its 1000 horsepower engine and its complicated W16 engine with quad turbo. And LOTEC did it with a V8 with twin turbos, almost half, but almost the same horsepower as the Bugatti Veyron. But since even after all that, the top speed record was not officially recorded, it was not considered the fastest car by the world record standards, or whatever the world record was there at the time for production supercars, which was later given to the F1 in 1998. And speaking of the McLaren F1, I think it would have been a perfect competitor when it came to performance, even if F1's goal was only to be a good road car. But when you have a custom one-off supercar, you just don't care. It doesn't matter who it competes with. It costed $3.6 million in 1991 even to develop and engineer, which was something out of this world expensive even for a supercar back then. Because remember, McLaren F1 was a mere $1.1 million supercar when it was introduced. Now the C1000 is around $7.72 million, which at least is cheaper than F1, but still very expensive. And you know what, apart from that, I have a question. It is a tradition at this point. With my previous videos on obscure supercars of the 1990s, I always have asked this question at the end. Would it have survived? And by now, you would have understood that it does not really matter, does it? But the thing is, some of you and the majority of non-car enthusiasts may think that why is this supercar even necessary? Why am I even talking about it? It's some rich people just showing off their wealth just to feel better about themselves, and this car is pretty much useless apart from that, right? No. It's a great thing when uber rich people want these special cars, because if you are watching at this point, you are a car enthusiast and we have a sight to behold because of them in one way or the other. A sight that would inspire, a sight to strive for something as great or even greater than what these supercars represent to us. Because I've said this then and I will say it again. Supercars are the face of the automotive industry. Majority of groundbreaking, mind-boggling innovations in cars, no matter how small they seem now, came from a risky take of creating supercars and race cars alike. I've made a separate video discussing the topic. All these new standards increase in supercars pushes the baseline standard of our daily driven family cars. And there are many examples, many hypercars that have created such a new tech that was never seen before. Even can you imagine Mate Rimac or Rimac, the CEO of Rimac electric hypercar company, actually once said, "Our tech is all over here and you are allowed to film it and you can get it out, because if you can make a better technology than what we have here, what we are showing it to the world, you can join it. I mean, if you can do it, you can come in and join and make it better and prove it to us." They are that confident that about their tech and engineering behind those electric hypercars that they produce. So you cannot imagine how much innovative and sharp minds that they have in their companies, and they are alive because rich people have the ability to buy those cars for themselves, and so they are indirectly creating a better standard for us all car enthusiasts. And just like I said before, all these new standards increased in supercars pushes the baseline standard of our daily driven family cars even today. And with that all, the LOTEC C1000 is a great and important car, and I stand by it. And after saying all that, thanks for watching everyone. I'll see you next time.